Hey guys, what's going on? Lucky here. So I'm at the shop. It is the day after Thanksgiving. This is the in-between. I've always had this weekends for working on your own bucket mentality. But I have so many projects here. Now that we're not doing HRG anymore, it's just giving me a perfect opportunity to get caught up on customers' cars, which is great. Speaking of customers' cars and HRG, so there's a project over there that's going to be pretty extensive, but that's for one of the producers of HRG. That's actually his car, and it's a long list of things to get it done and get it going. So I fired this thing up, got the bed fit, got the cab fit, got everything even. I got the wheels right where I want them in the wheel wells. Actually moved the cab back, then I moved it back forward, and then I moved it back again. Kind of like where it is right there. Aesthetically, it's all good. I finished up a lot of the wiring in the engine bay. Cleaned some stuff up. I have not cut any zip tie ends because I don't necessarily know that that's the same deal. If you know about Crown Vic swaps, the entire cooling system floats on a little bracket underneath the frame that honestly goes from the frame on this side underneath, drops down about 4 inches, goes over, goes back up and bolts to the frame. It has a couple of rubber isolators that actually hold the cooling system. So I took that thing off and I cut that drop out, welded it back up, and that tucked the entire cooling system up into the radiator area, or actually into the grill area. Mind you, all of this used to be all the way down here. So there was a large amount of area that was not getting used, and a bunch would be hidden behind the actual bumper. So that's resolved. Now I'm gonna do a little reflector right here, a little diffuser, keep all the air forced through the AC condenser and the radiator. And I'll put a cold air on this side. I'll probably enlarge one of these holes right here. I've hardwired the fan. Well, it's controlled through the processor. Put a relay right there. Had to jump a fuse. I just didn't have a fuse that day. Other than that, I'm waiting for a transmission. Gearstar is building me a transmission right now. So this thing has a 4R75E in it, and it's a rare transmission. They did it 1 year only, 2009, and well, later 2009 into 2010. And nobody makes a controller for it. The plug's different, everything's different, the internals are different. The solenoids read different signals, different ohms, different whatever. I've asked a couple of transmission guys, and they said, oh yeah, you can do this and do that. You know what? I got Gearstar in everything I own. I called up Gearstar. I said, can you build me a 4R70W, wide range, I believe it's called. And he's all, no problem. Give me a couple weeks. I'll get it whipped up with a nice converter, send it out. Holley Engine Management handles that right away. They have a trans controller harness just for that. And that's gonna solve a lot of issues. So, got it fired up, drove it over here. Fired up, put it in gear, and it drove. That was pretty cool. Project X hiding over there. But right now I'm charging up the battery on Brian's Mustang. I don't think I've done any videos on this thing in a minute. Wiring's almost complete. Engine bay. I'm gonna try to go back to the old pictures. Maybe I'll try and put those in this video. This thing was sketch level red. Somebody had painted the engine compartment with high gloss black, which showed every little imperfection, and they used white plumber's caulk or something to seal it up. It looked terrible. Now it actually looks like a Survivor. I need to get on the Tosh.0 Subaru. That's just a list of small things that need to be fixed. But right now, I was driving the Wagon the other day and started thinking about, I heard a noise in the back. Something was rattling. There's Joey Chevelle over there. And so anyway, I heard something rattling in the back. I'm thinking, well, you know what? It sounds like a shock came loose. And actually a shock did come loose. This is the Ride Tech Air Ride conversion kit. It converts the whole back of the car into a 4-link. We installed that on an episode of HRG. These can be bolted or welded, the brackets that hold everything, and convert it to the 4-link. This being 1 link, this being the uppers. And I was gonna weld it, but I go, you know what? I wanna have this frame taken out, sandblast the whole thing, redo it all, take the body off, and that's when I will cut these little tabs off and weld that stuff on there very permanently. So I figured, you know, for now, let's do it just the way it says to do it in the box. Drill a small hole, put in a self-tapper, and that's what we did. And I'm thinking, wow, why did it come loose, Joey? When's the last time I had this thing on the lift? I mean,
probably when you built it.
Exactly. I mean, it was a couple power tours ago. So I've been just driving the wheels off this thing. Joey too. I was just like, don't I have a wagon? Where is it? I let Joey take it home like for a couple weeks, I think it was.
2 or 3 weeks.
People are calling me, hey, look, you in PV? No? I just saw your car go by. But I just called Joey. He's like, hey, do me a favor, slow down. He wasn't actually speeding. I just thought it was funny. But either way, I figured, you know what? It's on the lift. I find a couple of loose bolts back here. I tighten them up. That was the only issue. Another issue I'm unhappy with on this car is the sound. Aesthetics is very important. I think the car looks cool. The patina, the rust, it all looks cool. It sounds like a friggin' rent-a-car and not like a haul-ass rent-a-car. I don't care for the sound at all. So I'm going to do a little more research into that. It might have something to do with the variable valve timing or whatever's going on up here, but I figure while it's on the lift, let's check some stuff out. No rattles. It's a total cruiser. I'm thinking, let's just see where it's leaking. Guess what? It's not. It's not leaking anywhere. That's a gear start transmission right there, by the way. That is a 6-speed. I don't even know what, 6R80 or something? Something like that. I don't know. Either way, gear start hooked me up and it rocks. And then this is a Moroso oil pan and a Ford Performance harness for the Coyote Swap. And then me and Alex built motor mounts for it. One there. And we had to build a trans mount because trans mount on these is kind of weird. We just made a plate and then bolted it up. Built our own trans cross member. I notched it on one side so that I can actually take these bolts out, slide the whole cross member over, lift it, and take it right out. That's the way it worked on paper anyway. And so, yeah, while it's up here on the lift, I figured let me just check for what's broken or what's fallen apart or how this vehicle could possibly be unsafe. And you know what? It's just rusty. It's not unsafe. The things you need to take into consideration when you do an air ride is these bushings were all designed and installed at ride height. And the front end would never articulate more than a couple of inches. Well, now it's articulating a lot, all the way down, all the way up. They're the old original bushings. You would think that stuff would be torn up by now, but they're not. It's all gonna get replaced with tubular anyway, but for now, still safe to drive, which means, oh, what's that, a cobweb? Gross. But, which means I still feel good loaning it to Joey. You know, precious cargo. He drags his wife around this thing once in a while.
That's right.
But yeah, all good. AC blows cold. Found a little rattle. All right, I feel good about that. I don't care who you are. Look at that patina. You can't buy that. Well, you probably could, but why would you? Anyway, I guess the breakdown on this vehicle is eventually. I forgot I still had drum brakes in the front. I thought I disc brake converted them. But it's all new drum brakes.
Yeah.
I will say that.
They work.
Yeah, they work. I actually have, you know what? I should probably do that right now. While it's on the lift, we will do that. I have a dual pot master cylinder. So this is it's gonna take away from conversation whenever you go to the car show. And people are like, what is this? Oh, it's like 400 or 500 horse. It's 435 horse, I think. 460 horse, something like that. Whatever the high performance Ford Coyote is. And I had a single pot master cylinder and 4 drum brakes. And I've been pretty fast in this car. On a closed course, that one time we went to Mexico. With a single pot master cylinder. The company called Leeds makes a upgrade for this. That is a dual pot master cylinder with proportioning valve built in. I ordered that stuff before Power Tour, before not last Power Tour, before the Power Tour before that, and it's been sitting over on the bench. I think I'm gonna actually install it right now. So let me charge up my video monitoring system. That's my cell phone. Let me find Sticks McGann or Wheels McGann. I don't even know who's on the clock right now. And let's get that master cylinder in and bleed these brakes. It's something, right? It's a step in the right direction. Anyway, I'll be right back. Joey, how organized am I?
Very organized.
When your friends lie to you, you know it's cool. Anyway, found the master cylinder. It was easy. I just walked right up to it. But before we did that, we jumped in the F-250. Is that an F-250? Yeah. We jumped in that F-250 that we dug up with the camper on it. It still has no brakes, but it runs like a top.
It does.
That puppy came right around. It doesn't smoke. It fires up. It runs amazing. It smells a little funky, but it's all right. We hopped in that thing with just the e-brake lever, and we drove down 6 units to Big Worm Shop. Got out, got ourselves a couple beverages. We shot the poo for a minute while the phone was charging. Then we drove back, and now we're going to install this thing. Sticks McGann has really been letting me down lately. I don't see him anywhere. Wheels McGann is right over there, but he needs to have some work done. I think Sticks McGann is next door.
17?
Yeah, maybe in 17. I'll walk around. You walk around. We'll see where Sticks is. So one thing I will say about Sticks is when you catch him, he does the job. The trick is catching him because he's a slacker. He's like part Ninja, I think. It's manufactured of Ninja aluminum. Yeah, he has to be over in 17. Oh yeah, he's definitely over in 17. I shot working on the Andrew 62, which went home the other day. Either way, Sticks. This thing is manufactured of Ninja aluminum. You never know when it's going to disappear. Anyway, because we go that extra mile so that you don't have to. That's a commercial, isn't it?
I think so.
Either way,
That's not what it should be.
we pulled the hood off. Pretty much because I'm lazy and I didn't want to have to climb around it. So yes, that was all the master cylinder I needed to slow down this giant boat on Power Tour 2024. I got the VIP pass and Power Tour 2024, in case you're not familiar, is a good time. Bowling Green, then to Tennessee, then back to Kentucky, then to Ohio, and then we finished up in Indianapolis. A good time was had by all. Did you go this? You didn't go to that one.
Oh, no.
You went to the West. Power Tour. Oh yeah, you drove this on Power Tour West. Yeah. And yeah, it was a good time. And as sketch level as it was, I think this is the most dependable vehicle.
Triple the horsepower and use the brakes.
Yeah, exactly. A fraction of the brakes, triple the horsepower. That's how we do it. Anyway, so that right there has been saving us for a while, and the new one is right over here. You know, I was a little concerned about putting the 2-pop master cylinder on there because that has a pressure. Oh, I don't have to stand right next to the phone to describe things anymore. I should be able to stand over here. Either way, so this has a pressure brake switch. And I was thinking, oh man, now I got to put a brake cylinder under the dashboard, run some wires. It's okay, I need to do it anyway. And when I got this thing, it has a brake proportioning valve built into the bottom of it. It says front out right there, rear out right there. I just have to make one little line, it's not a big deal. And then I turn it around, the adjuster for brake proportioning, and a pressure master, or a pressure switch. So I just have to change the plugs on the end of those wires, which actually aren't supposed to be like that anyway, so that works out well. Either way, I think it was called, what was it called, Needs? Leads, that's right, it was Leads. I need a cutter. Wire cutter? Just dikes. Thank you, sir. Let me get rid of this. It's going to be more work mounting the fuel pressure regulator than it is to actually build all the other stuff. Oh, 2 zip ties, that's right. You go that extra mile. That's awesome. Yeah. Hey, grab me a, oh, right here. All right, well. Yeah, most likely. All right, well, after looking at that master cylinder and seeing that clearly there was a rod that goes in the end of that master cylinder, I was assuming that this was the same way. However, this one has an eyelet or a Heim or something at the underdash component there on the pedal. So I'm going to go under there right now, unhook that, be right back. Okay, so like most projects, they always start out very smooth and maintenance free and then turn into a pain. Of course, it wasn't a simple bolt. The pedal assembly has a stud on it that with a, wow, I can't believe I was driving with this thing. Either way, I had a circlip holding it, so I'll have to make something like this that goes to that. So let's see. We'll be able to use these measurements, knowing that this puts the pedal in the stock location from this mounting surface and the wheel of death. Anyway, I'm going to use these measurements. This is the mounting surface, and then that's where the pedal goes at rest. And then I'll use this as a mounting surface. When I take this rubber thing off, I'll be able to determine how deep into the master this goes. I'll cut it, I'll probably polish the end and just use this component. So let's just see how this works out. Push that button. All right, go over here where I can make a mess. I kind of like the mic. At least I know that it's not like I have a habit of putting my hand right over the microphone on the phone to work. Yeah. I think I can go on this side. That way there's a little bit of light. Hey, will you hold that right there? I think I could probably take this off. Yeah, I see a little circlip in there and a piston. On a side note, this thing was barely leaking when you were driving around with your wife. I just thought there was it got to the point we had to pump the brakes.
Yeah, when you didn't use them for a while.
Yeah. Circlip. Almost there. I have circlip pliers in the next building, but seems like a lot of time to walk all the way over there. We were just talking about moving shop lights around too. And now I'm just like, man, I wish I had more light. Well, I know I'm not trying to save this circlip, so. You know what, if only I had a vise. Oh look, a vise. Oh, it's over here. You ever seen the bench over in 19 by the Willwood Brakes? I've got like 4 brand new or 4 nice vices. I just have not made time to install yet.
Project for another day.
It is. This wasn't even supposed to be a project today. But it is a holiday. And awesome. Measuring tape right there. Right there to there. It looks like 5 1/8 inches. 5 1/4 inches to the center. Look at that science project. That's awesome. You know what? I think this is supposed to be a pull-out piece. It's just corroded. Yeah. Is that a reed valve? Oh, it's a seal. Come on.
There it is.
Come on, man. How many inches was it? Remember the measurement?
5 1/4 to center.
5 1/4. I think it's the same. Okay, you know how I was saying, oh, sometimes things don't always end up the same way, that looks so much easier? Yeah, it's exactly, I could have just taken the other one off and put this right back on. But you know what? Maybe this won't fit. Nope, it fits too. All right, I get it. I had to do that for safety. That's why I did that.
The patina didn't match.
The patina, exactly. It was a patina calibration is what that was. Now let's see this. This is inverted flare. Maybe this won't go right in. Darn it, goes right in. I mean, yeah. Clearly I thought this out. Okay, so now here's the deal. Down there under the car, there is a block, just probably a brass block, that has left and right brakes go into one part of it, and then the rear line comes up and goes into another part of it, and then right in the middle of that block, I call it a Y adapter or splitter, but it's 4 lines going into one, or 3 lines going into one coming out. I'm going to isolate the rear line, put a union on that, coupler, and then run that line up to the back of the proportioning valve, and then use the original front brake line and the original Y adapter, the block down there, after I plug up where the old rear line used to go in. And then I will have left and right without having to build all new lines, and the rear line will come up to a union, and I'll make one little line that goes up right to the back of the master. Before I actually bolt the master on, I'm going to get all that figured out. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes after I whip all that up for the install. See you in a minute. Okay, so we just got done bleeding the brakes. Oh, John McGann's here. Sticks McGann. The real McGann is here. And so anyway, we just got done bleeding the brakes. And let me get these bolts on here. I'll put the hood on. Joey Chevelle is in there. He's very familiar with the operation of this vehicle. And we're gonna go to lunch right now. This is our test drive. So there it is, all installed. You know what's holding that fuel pressure regulator in place? Fear. Fear of the unknown. Fire it up, see if we broke anything. Will it stop? Life is good. Hold up. Okay. Right where it's supposed to be.
That's good.
It throws you back and it throws you forward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been ruined. Yeah, it seems to be alright. I was a little concerned about the rear brakes. see how fast that curb was coming up? It was coming up. What's that smell?
Rubbery substance.
It is. Should have launched on him. That's the old Sears building right there, isn't it?
It might be. It used to say Samsung on top, but
Oh.
it may have been Sears before that.
That's, I think they do a Halloween haunted thing there every year. Which, year round, that's spooky as hell.
Yeah.
Driving down Melrose. Been a minute, huh?
Long time, yeah.
Lulu's, like Lululemon? So wow, that is absolutely amazing.
It's very fancy.
It's a nice street, wonderful facilities, wonderful Ferrari.
I could use a double espresso.
I'll have a half cap, double caffeine, half cap with a twist myself. Why are we talking like this? I just don't get it.
Thurston Howell the third.
Absolutely. I hope we can get to talking normal again pretty soon. I'm feeling perturbed.
Stop and get a Voss water.
A Voss, absolutely. I need a Voss. These people act like they've never seen a Coyote Swapped wagon driving around with no hood before.
Like this guy.
Man, was that a Lambo? All right, now we're getting a little bit better. Bars on the windows make me feel much better. Oh, I'm talking normal again. All right, that's what I'm talking about. We are cut adjacent, I believe. Back there, the houses are very nice, right?
Yeah.
And they're still very, well, there's a lot of them. I do love the local vibe. Is that the right? It's the community vibe. Uh-huh. Transmission 161. Coolant temp. Engine coolant temp is 196. Everything looks great. 14.9 volts. Fan is doing its job. It's always pleasant. Currently on Obama Boulevard and La Brea. On our way to our taco destination today. Buddha Boys is not available, so we're on our way to the next best spot, which would be Trejos. Trejos Tacos. Have you ever eaten there before?
No.
Have you ever eaten at Trejos?
Nope.
It's actually really good.
All right. For a treat.
not that long ago, it's like a taco place in like the middle of a residential neighborhood, as I recall. Is that the metro line up there?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yellow Expo line, I think. Whatever color, I don't remember the color.
I'm telling you, we can do something with that lot on the corner. Let's put up a castle and paint it blue.